What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day today and I hope it gets even better from watching this video. Today we're chatting all about a mid-year reset plan. So this video is going to be in two different parts. The first one is going to be a reset and a review, and the second part is going to be a plan and a structure. So we're going to cover everything. I'm going to share a bunch of journaling prompts, exercises, anything you can think of to really help you execute this the best that you can. So you can take a week or two, however long you need, to really disappear and come out on the other side, having all the tools and the things you need to make this next part of the year, the last part of your year, your best. I'm also going to share my whole journey of my mid-year reset in the next video. So if you want to check that out, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. If you're new to my channel, I make videos all about self-improvement and I like to make them very actionable. Here are all the steps that you need to really make a significant change. So if that works for you, I would love for you to subscribe. You can also check out my social media. I am doing a tutorial of this because you guys have been asking for so long. So I'll have a reel up this week or next week. So if you're into that, make sure to follow me. Anything like personal life, fashion, beauty, all of that is on my Instagram. Alrighty, let's start with our reset and our review of the last few months so we can see where we're at and then make a concrete plan for the future. So I personally always like to start with a declutter of my space, but also my digital space. So I clear out all of my emails, my phone, my notes, my photos, desktop, anything I use a lot, and then obviously my space, my closet. It's just a really amazing time to do this. It just makes you feel like you have a fresh start, like a clean slate, and it really makes me feel like I have a clear mind. So that's always what I like to start with. The second step is we're gonna review the goals that you've set for yourself at the beginning of the year. If you did that, if you didn't, no worries, you can just skip this little tiny step and go to the next timestamp. But if you did set them, it's important to check in every once in a while and just review how you're doing. And if you set goals that you're not really happy with, some of them just don't really align anymore, that's totally fine. We're gonna have 4 categories that you're gonna organize the goals that you did set for yourself, so you can just see where you're at and see which ones are actually important to you and which ones you kind of want to leave behind and you've realized aren't really meaningful to you and you would rather spend your time on something that is more important. So what we're gonna do to make this very, very clear is we're gonna organize these goals that you set for yourself into 4 categories. The first one is completed goals. The second one is in progress but important. So these are the goals you haven't achieved yet but are important. Important but haven't started yet. So these are the goals you wanna complete at some point this year but you just haven't gotten started. And then the last category is not important. So these are the ones that you're going to leave behind. So that gives you a very clear idea of where you're at and how you want to prioritize these goals in the future, if you did set them, of course. The fourth step is we're going to review things a bit further. So I have a bunch of journaling prompts where we're going to see what you're happy with, what you're not happy with, what worked, what didn't, just so we can move on in a more informed way and in a way that feels more authentic, but is also more efficient. We're gonna start with the positives, by the way. So here are the journaling prompts. What about your life right now are you grateful for? What are you at this point in time proud of yourself for? What have you accomplished so far in this first half of the year? What have you enjoyed most? What have you overcome? And then what have you learned? And how have you stretched yourself out of your comfort zone? And this is honestly crucial. Learning, stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, that really gives you so much confidence. It gives you that belief in yourself that I will stick to the things that I decide to do. And that then gives you kind of the push to keep doing that in the future. It is honestly a game changer. It is such a big part of why discipline is so important and so amazing for you and your confidence. The kind of learning path that I'm on is learning a new language. I live in Denmark. I don't speak the language, which obviously comes with its own challenges. An amazing tool that has been so helpful is LiveXP, and they're actually sponsoring this video. If you don't know, LiveXP is an online platform where you can find language tutors for one-on-one private lessons. You can choose from 2,000 different tutors from all over the world to level up your language skills, whether it's you want to work on your accent or improve your conversation skills, grammar, vocabulary. You basically pick a language and then you go through a bunch of extensive, amazing filters like shared interest with your tutor or where the tutor is from to really find the best fit for you. I've really found that finding the right tutor helps me so much, not only because everyone learns differently, but also when it comes to my motivation and consistency. With LiveXP, you can really easily set up your own personal schedule. You can track your progress. You can take notes from every session, and you can even learn new words with their word trainer. Honestly, being on this whole whole journey of learning a new language has been so like rewarding and beneficial. There's just nothing better than that feeling when you finally understand what someone just said to you, or when you can like express yourself fully. It's so satisfying, gives you so much confidence. It's just amazing. I highly recommend giving Live XP a try. With my code by Nika, you can book a 30-minute trial lesson for $0.99, or you can use my code by Nika30, which will give you 30% off any subscription you're interested in, so you can really try it out and see if it's for you. I'll have all of that in the description box, and thank you so much to Live XP for sponsoring. Okay, let's continue with the journaling prompts that are gonna go more into what hasn't worked and how you wanna move forward. The first prompt is, what do you wanna leave behind and release from this first part of the year? So basically, what isn't serving you? And then the second one is, what are the patterns you wish to break? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna circle that one thing that stands out the most, that you feel like is gonna really make a massive improvement in your life if you actually dedicate yourself to breaking this habit or leaving whatever it is behind. Pick one, you can just circle it if you wrote a list, and we'll deal with that in a little bit. And then the last journaling prompt is, what emotional need has been missing in your life this first half of the year? One example here would be support. So I didn't really feel like I got enough support this year. That is like an emotional need. Okay, now let's move on to one of my favorite exercises when it comes to any kind of reset, whether it's the end of the year, half year mark, if you just need a fresh start. Like, this exercise is so amazing. It really gives you a very clear, like, objective view of what's going on in your life and what you want to put more of your energy and time and effort into. The exercise is called the Wheel of Life, and if you've watched my like end of the year playlist getting ready for the new year, or if you have my planner, you've probably done it. So if you have done it in the past, then this can be a great way to see how much you've grown and how much you've improved. If not, that is totally fine. This will just give you a very clear idea of where you are versus where you want to be, and that can really help you to set better goals for yourself that are going to be very authentic and meaningful to you. So this is how the Wheel of Life looks like. This is the one that's also in the planner. So as you can see, it's basically a wheel full of different categories of your life. So it goes from like spirituality, money and finance, career and work, health, fitness, etc. So it covers everything. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go category by category. So let's say money and finance, and you're first gonna mark where you feel like you are right now, like your satisfaction level. Let's say I feel like I'm at a 7, and then where I wish to realistically be at whatever time frame you want to choose. So if you want to choose this last half of the year, then do that. So where do you want to be at the end of 2024? And then you mark that. So let's say that for me, I want to be at an 8 at the end of the year, or if I choose a 2-year mark, then let's say I want to be at a 9. Just an example. Again, it's totally up to you what your time frame is and what works for you. I like to work in like yearly increments when it comes to this Wheel of Life exercise. It just works best for me. So you're going to do this for every single category, and then in the end, you're going to be able to see the categories where that gap between where you are versus where you want to be is the biggest. So the ones with the biggest gap are the ones that you really want to focus on and put more of your time and energy into. And this knowledge can really help you when you're setting goals, or if you want to modify the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. So that's going to be really helpful knowledge a little bit later when we're going through all that. Alrighty guys, so we've done the reset and the review portion of this video. So now you should have like a clear understanding of what was working, what wasn't, your goals and where you're at with them and how you want to move forward. So now we're going to make a very concrete plan, like a game-winning plan for you for the rest of this year. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to look at those journaling prompts, and you know the question about emotional needs, like the emotional need that you weren't able to get. I have like a system for a morning routine. I have a whole video about how to create your perfect morning routine. I'll link it down below. But one of my favorite things to do is to, first of all, ask yourself, what emotional need are you lacking in your life at the moment? So let's say that's support. And then you're going to think of one very small, easy thing you can do every single morning. This shouldn't take a lot of time at all. It shouldn't take a lot of effort. It should be easy. One thing you're going to do that's going to kind of trigger that emotion. So what you can do, for example, is when you're journaling, you can write a few things that you're proud of yourself for, or when you're getting ready in the morning, you can give yourself a few like encouraging words, or even listen to like encouraging affirmations or something. So just find that one very simple, easy action that's going to trigger that emotion for you. You might have to be a little bit creative for some of these, obviously. For even support, it's like, of course, we want support from other people as well, and that means a lot, but we're taking things into our own hands and we're finding that one easy thing that you can do every single day, and that's gonna like build so much confidence. It's gonna make you feel so much better to not only stick to it, but also get this emotional need met. So I highly recommend adding this to your morning routine. If you're not a morning routine person, you can also do it later in the day, whatever floats your boat. The other thing you're gonna look at is those things that you wanna leave behind / the habits or like patterns you wanna break. When you wrote those down and I told you to circle one, now you're gonna write it down again and be like, okay, this is the habit I'm gonna break. What is one simple action I can do that's gonna help me to break this habit or to leave XYZ behind? So again, we're making things very easy, very simple. Of course, you can go all out and create a whole plan of how you're gonna break this habit. But feel free to do that. Honestly, that would be amazing. But if you don't want to get overwhelmed and put too many things on your plate at once, because that's hard to stick to, then just one simple action that's going to help you to break this habit. So for example, maybe you want to break the habit of being on your phone so much. So one thing you can do is create like a black and white function where you can just press this button 3 times and it makes it black and white, and that's way less enjoyable to look at. So you're gonna stay off your phone more than you usually would. For example, something simple. I also have a whole video about a social media detox if you want to see it. I'll link it down below. The last part of this video is all about goals, okay? Setting the right type of goals, the goals that are actually going to work for you. So this is obviously going to be different depending on where you're at. So if you set goals for yourself that are really strong, you're really happy with them, like you've been going and you just want to keep going, then it might be helpful just to check in, to review where you're at, update a few things, timelines, action steps, all of that. But if you want to modify or set new goals, then I'm going to show you a process that really works for me and is like bulletproof, in my opinion. So this whole process is a part of my life design planner, which is a Notion template that anyone can use. Again, I'll have it linked down below. You don't need this if you don't want it. Again, make sure the system that you have works for you. But this is my favorite because it goes through like an extensive goal setting system. And then it has a goal process tracker. It has a habit and routine tracker, a whole planner, and then also like a monthly reset routine. So you can really make sure that you're getting the things done that you want to get done. And those goals are really like a crucial part of your like monthly, weekly, daily planning. And that's what the system is. It really works for me. But again, you need to make sure that you have a system that works for you. I've also included a whole like extensive video tutorial of how to use it. So even if you're new to Notion, it doesn't matter, like you can still use this. So again, have that down below, and I'll stop yapping now and show you the process. My favorite way to set goals is to set 3 categories, and then you're gonna have up to 3 goals for each category. The less goals you have, honestly, the better, because it feels so good when you can actually cross them off. It gives you so much confidence, it makes you feel really good, and it makes you want to keep going. Just imagine how much better your life will be if you tick off those 2 goals, let's say, than if you set like 10 and you're super excited about them now, but it's hard to stick to, so then you kind of fall off, you forget about them, you know the drill. So I just think it's better to set less. But 3 categories, each category up to 3 goals. Now, the way you can set these categories is based on the Wheel of Life exercise, so those categories with the biggest gap, or you can just go standard like personal, career, financial, or you know, something like that. And then the way you set these goals is honestly the most important thing ever. So here is the system that I use. I'm just gonna open one of my goals for this year, which is the Notion templates. So there is a little goal setting section, so that's gonna walk you through the whole process. So first of all, you need to set SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And then you're gonna write down your starting point and then your identity shift. I'm gonna walk you through it all, okay? So let's say the initial goal that I write down is I wanna start working out. So now you can go through these SMART goals checklist and see if it's a SMART goal, which this one is not. So it's, first of all, not specific at all. it's not really measurable because you didn't set anything specific. It's just, I want to start working out. How can you measure that, right? It is achievable. It's relevant. So we've got that going, but it's also not time bound. There's no limitation to this goal. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set a SMART goal. So in this case, the SMART goal could be, I am going to work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes until the end of September. So that is specific, it's measurable, and it's also time bound and achievable, relevant. So, and then you're going to write your starting point so you can look back, and that can be like a motivator. So let's say right now I work out twice a month-ish. I go on a few walks every once in a while. I have no set routines. My body doesn't feel very strong, flexible, fit. Like I kind of huff and puff up the stairs. Like I'm just not feeling great and I want to feel better. Let's say that's your starting point. That brings us to our identity shift. I spoke a lot about this at length in, I think it was my discipline video. It's honestly one of my favorite videos. So I'll link that down below, and I think it can be really helpful here. So let's say right now you're telling yourself, I'm just not someone who works out. Like I'm not very good at it. I was never good at sports. I never enjoyed running. I hate the gym. I hate this, and that is your identity. Like you are someone who doesn't work out. That is not going to be very helpful to you. So we're going to shift your identity, but we're going to make it realistic, because if your identity now is like, I'm the most fit person in the world, that's not true. And your brain is gonna remind you of that. And so you're not really gonna move in a good direction. So this has to be realistic, but a bit of a push. So let's say my identity shift is, I am someone who never skips a workout. That is actually something I believe I can do. So you wanna do this whole process with every single one of these goals. And then the last thing you wanna do is break each goal down into smaller actionable steps. I have a whole system to do that in the template. And then it's very easy to bring those into your monthly, weekly, daily schedule. So maybe I want to work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes. Let's say one of those days you're going to go for a run. The other 2, you're going to go to the gym. So the first step is, I'm going to get a gym membership, or I'm going to try this class and that class and that class. I'm going to get this trial at a gym. I'm going to download this running program. Like you set those specific steps, and then you can obviously track the habits that come along with these goals, which is also in the template. But of course you can do this in your journal, your planner, whatever you like to use. That is how you set really concrete, foolproof goals, but it's so important that they're actually meaningful to you. Honestly, that is the most important part, that they're meaningful and that they're authentic to you. I have a whole video about that as well, which I'm gonna link down below. I swear I didn't want to promote any kind of video, but this always happens. So you have a few things to watch if you want to. Alrighty guys, that is it for this video. I really, really hope this helped you. I would love to know what your goals are gonna be for this year, or maybe one thing you wanna change or improve in the last part of the year. If you like this video, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe, and check out my social media if you want to see more of my personal life. And that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you very, very soon.